All right, y'all. Just checking to make sure we're live, but Brian Shutt here, owner of HomeSense Heating and Cooling, with Matt Patrick. He's one of our design technicians and home comfort advisors and has a real expertise in something called indoor air quality. Before I ask some questions for him, because I think he's going to provide some really great information, just to give some background, I have one of our signs here. Healthy indoor air is something we're getting a lot of questions about, and part of the reason that I think we're getting a lot of questions is that people are being presented with more facts than ever before about indoor air and indoor air quality. Some of the things that we have up here that we think are worth sharing is that indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Indianapolis, in fact, has one of the 9th most particle pollution of any major cities in the U.S. And then the average American spends 90% of their lives indoors. And then on top of that, newer homes are built what we call more tightly, so there's less breathing, there's less infiltration from outdoor air, which keeps the homes operating more efficiently, but we lose some indoor air or some quality and the health of the air as a result of that. So with those facts, I just wanted to have Matt here. We're going to do this a few times over the coming weeks to talk about different factors for healthy air. But what are you seeing out there? What one of the main things that jumps out to you?
Ryan, right now, with as cold as it has been here in Indianapolis, I know about a month ago it was negative 17 degrees. It was the actual temperature. Which the colder it gets, the more your furnace runs.
Yeah.
The more the furnace runs, the more it dries out the air inside your house. So a lot of people right now are getting nosebleeds and static electricity, or feeling like their skin is drier than normal.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of questions about indoor humidification in the wintertime. What should my indoor humidity be?
Yeah.
Your typical house, especially in Indianapolis, without a humidifier, hovers around 10 to 12%.
Okay.
Which is actually lower than the Sahara Desert, which maintains about 18 to 20% humidity. Yeah. So your house in the winter in Indiana is drier than what the desert is. It's kind of hard to believe. Yes. Yeah.
What's your ideal what would that range look like?
So going back to what you said about newer houses being wrapped tighter, older homes are going to require more humidification than the newer ones. And that's just purely because it loses it out, through lack of insulation.
Sure.
Windows or doors are not sealed up as
Okay.
tightly. So to answer that question, percentage-wise, anywhere between 35 and 42% in the winter.
Okay.
Summertime, 50 to 52.
Okay.
We can touch that on.
Sure. Yeah. So what are some of the things? Yeah, I mean, you mentioned some of the problems and that where it sort of sits at, where when it's not, when you're not having humidification coming in from the outside. But what are some of the things that it does help solve in the process?
So by adding a humidifier to your heating and cooling system, it helps with, in the morning when you wake up, not feeling stuffy, not having nosebleeds. When you walk around the house, when you go to turn on the light switch, it doesn't electrocute you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have hardwood floors, real hardwood floors, I don't think some houses they bow up or come apart, so you can see the seams. If you have a lot of woodwork, custom trim, it makes them bow. You start seeing cracks and gaps.
Okay.
Doors don't open and close right. So by adding a humidifier, by restoring the humidity to where it's supposed to be, all that stuff goes back to normal over time.
Yeah. So it can help solve most of those, or is it just? Does it depend on the size of the home, or what are some of the things you do in your inspection process?
So the key to installing the proper humidifier is, one, the size of the humidifier is very important.
Okay.
You can oversize a humidifier without it being a bad thing, but if you undersize a humidifier, it's never going to work properly.
Okay.
But a lot of other things to look at, I mentioned before, attic insulation, if the house is on a crawl space or a basement or a slab, that also affects it. What type of heating and cooling system you have.
Yeah.
If you have an all-electric system, a traditional bypass or even a power humidifier is not very efficient on electric systems.
Okay.
It's because they don't get as hot as gas furnaces.
Okay.
And you need heat to evaporate water.
So if it's an all-electric system, is that house going to be not as dry as the desert? Is that
Yeah, it will still be dry,
Okay.
but since it's not as hot, the heat's not as hot, it's going to be as dry.
Okay.
But it's still going to be
So
uncomfortable.
it's going to take a specific type of humidifier to work well.
Right. Now, you can still use the other kind. They're just going to run longer and be less efficient.
Okay.
Typically, you would install a steam humidifier
Okay.
on an all-electric house to make it more, to maximize the efficiency of the humidification. But people use steam humidifiers for gas furnaces too. It's just a matter of the need of it.
Okay. Anything else that you think people should know if they're interested, or what sort of questions come to you when you're out in people's homes that they might be interested in?
A common one is I set my thermostat to 74 in the winter, but it still feels cold. Normally when somebody says that either they have some ductwork issues, the furnace may not be sized correctly, but I'd say probably half the time they don't have a humidifier.
Okay.
You can install a humidifier on your house and you can actually set your thermostat lower
Okay.
with more humidity in the house.
Okay.
You know, think about summer. It's kind of hard to think about summer when we're in February. But if you think about summertime, when are you most uncomfortable? When the humidity is higher.
Right. Sure.
It's because it just feels hotter. I mean,
Right.
That's why people go to Florida.
Right.
And I prefer it, and that's why people go.
Absolutely. Well, and I think about the difference between, 90 degrees here and 90 degrees in Phoenix.
Exactly. Yeah.
I presume that's
Yeah,
humidity
perfect.
related.
Or even Las Vegas.
Sure.
Vegas is a lot hotter than Indianapolis, but it might be 110 in Vegas, but if it's 95 here in high humidity, it's 10 times worse here than Las Vegas.
Right,
It's because of the humidity.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we can sort of leverage that same reality to make your home more comfortable
Exactly.
at a lower temperature.
And
Makes
control
sense.
it too.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Pricing wise, what are we looking about pricing wise? How many options are there?
There's all kinds of different options when it comes
Yeah.
to humidity. There's the ones they sell at the hardware stores. They're the cool mist type.
Uh-huh.
Be very careful with those because even though they're a tabletop, or you can get ones that sit in the floor, they put off a mist. That mist will create calcium particles
Okay.
and will go through your duct system and clog your air filter up within a week
Really?
and cause your furnace not to work.
Okay.
I've seen it a few times, but just be careful with those. They're not as advertised.
Okay.
They also have the mist type that will mount to your duct system that you can also buy at the hardware stores.
Yeah.
Those are okay. It's a knockoff of a steam type humidifier, but if they're not installed correctly, you'll get water damage on the
Sure.
furnace.
Sure.
So,
Think of that as something that has come up to us over the years, like maintenance. How often do you get a humidifier maintained, or how long would you recommend?
every year with your furnace inspection.
Okay.
There's a filter and both a bypass powered and also a steam humidifier should be changed on an annual basis. And we normally take care of that for you.
Okay.
You don't have to do your furnace maintenance.
I'm going to check to see if we got any questions here real quick. Sometimes it happens. We'll see. If there's anything else that you want to chat about, go for it. Let's see here. Well, doesn't look like it.
No questions?
So, without any questions, unless you have anything more to share.
Going back to your original comment when you're talking about the homes being wrapped tighter than what they used to be. You can also couple that with the type of building material we're using now. It's not regular wood anymore, it's all engineered products. So they go off gassing
Okay.
of VOCs or
Yeah.
volatile organic compounds. You know, when you walk into a new house, has that new house smell, or even a new car?
Right.
Well, that's the paint and the carpets, the formaldehyde
Like
from all
chemicals.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that causes a lot of breathing issues with some people.
Wow.
So that's something else that
Cool.
is new.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a couple more of these because this stuff is, it's important. We think it's actually informative. A lot of people have asked us about indoor air health, and it's somewhat deep, as we went into with humidifiers today for 5 or 10 minutes. So there's a few other products and solutions related to some of these other issues, and we'll be diving in over the course of the next month or so. So. Thanks for the time. If you do have any questions, shoot us those on Facebook, and Matt or I will get back with you. Thanks.